What's up, y'all? I'm Jay Funkadelic. Welcome to the Funkable Operator Podcast, Episode 8. I've been listening to a lot of hip-hop, back then when it was good. I went to the Glorilla concert. I didn't stay long, was boring as shit. You know what I'm saying? Every time I hear Glorilla be singing her records, it's like she does that "don't play with it" bullshit. I'm not really into that like little kiddie rap that these youngins be listening to. It don't even sound right. I want to break something down. I respect the legends in the game. I respect the culture. Shout out to Nas, who had a concert last night at the Garden. I've been dealing with a lot of struggles meeting celebrities because life is never easy. Life can't be easy because you're not at the right place at the right time meeting people. And security gotta fucking sabotage your photo from a big megastar. Well, I say that really sucks. When you don't grind, you don't shine. When you don't grind, you ain't got a fucking life. You gotta be out to be somewhere. Nas performed last night. He did one of his greatest hits. From King Disease. Last year I did the Funkable Dark Knight Legacy. I realized that Fat Joe and Ruben Diaz Jr. was there. Busta Rhymes, Slick Rick, the whole gang members of rap was there. Not really gang members, but the true hip-hop heads were over there last night to support Nas Escobar for his well-being at the Garden when he performed. There's a lot of people that don't respect the culture, and that's why a lot of people be getting shot in their stomachs for a bullshit altercation. Rest in peace to Takeoff from the Migos. Rest in peace to Pop Smoke. Rest in peace to P&B Rock. Music to be murdered by. What's more else to say? Rest in peace to Dove from De La Soul. Rest in peace to Granddaddy U. I'm getting too old for this rap shit. But I will make more hits if I need to make hits. Because when you want to be a rapper, you have to understand, I don't give a fuck if you're older or younger than me, you still gotta rap to the funky soul beats. You DJ, you gotta walk around with the classic rap music and R&B or reggae or something. Shout out to Pete Rock and CL Smooth. Shout out to House of Pain. Shout out to Chuck D and the Rap Station. Chuck D is coming out with another book, Living Loud, and I was looking to buy it. The best rapper of all time in the 80s, there's a top 6. Chuck D, Kool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane, Airbnb and Rakim, Public Enemy, and of course, LL Cool J. Without them, I would never have been getting my rhymes on or DJing or nothing. But the big man you gotta respect. If it was for him, I would never have been listening to hip-hop music ever in my life. And that guy would have been Cool DJ Red Alert. Red Alert opened doors. He broke barriers to play the songs that he wanted to play on the radio. On 98.7 KISS FM way back in the day. Red Alert is a culture icon. Red Alert is an important DJ that people respect. You need to give him his flowers. Enough respect to cool DJ Red Alert. Yeah. And I know he's still with us. There's a lot of shit that been happening in life. From rappers having an illness and getting shot for no apparent reason. I didn't give a fuck about, going to that Glorilla concert because I heard that one of the Gorilla's drivers that performed with Cardi B had a gun and ammo. And I realized I seen that shit until I seen the article. Do you believe that? What the fuck? When I first heard about Glorilla, I didn't really she say gorilla. Gorilla. I call my man Don Gorilla. Sir Monty, what up? I see him last Wednesday at the Urban Plaza. Shout out to Sir Judes Clooney. Known him in a minute from Deep Lock Studios. Shout out to the Locks. They got their own memorial on Longwood Avenue in the Bronx. I know they're from Yonkers. Jadakiss was my mentor, but he really wasn't. Me and Jadakiss are like this. Compared about rap music and the funk and listening to the Locks was great. I remember going to the record store. I had the Locks Money, Power, and Respect album before that shit hit all the stores. I was the first man that purchased the Locks cassette, Money, Power, and Respect on Bad Boy Records. And this shit was like 98. It was the beginning of 98. I had the Locks album when I was 21 years old, being a legal man. A lot of people don't do what I do in rap. I know a lot of hip-hop stars, dead or alive. Shit you never heard imagine in your fucking life. I take my hip-hop very serious. I'm not fucking around. I'm not joking. I don't write one fucking bar and say that's it. Fuck out of here with that. I don't do shit like that. I know what the fuck I gotta rap about. Most of y'all rappers in the game absolutely suck. Because you're not taking your time to write a whole full paragraph of lyrics when you're in the studio. When I heard about that drill hip hop shit, when the beat sounded corny, the Afro beats are garbage. Boom, boom. All that fucking beat I'm hearing is like I'm listening to house music. What the fuck? I lost respect for a lot of rappers. You see Gunners locked up, Young Thug. I never liked none of them dudes. They want to be locked up, they're going to be locked up. Eric Holder's doing 60 years to life in jail for murdering Nipsey Hussle. I remember listening to Nipsey Hussle. Hustle in the House was one of my favorite records of all time. Nipsey Hussle was one of my, the best live performance, KRS-One, what the fuck? He was my best live performer. KRS-One, Boogie Down Productions, and Chuck D, Public Enemy, Cypress Hill. The best live performances of all time. Kane, Coogee Rap, Public Enemy, LL, okay? Run DMC. The best DJ, Kid Capri, all right? Kid Capri was better than Khaled and Flex. I've been listening to Funkmaster Flex way before he was on Hot 97 back in the early 90s. Flex was killing shit back in the 90s. Funkmaster Flex used to be on WBLS back in the day, in the early 90s, before he was hired on Hot 97. There was a lot of hip-hop I've heard from Red Alert and Chuck Chill Out. Chuck Chill Out Friday night, Red Alert Saturday night. Back to back. When I was growing up in high school, I had a radio. There was no cell phone. There was no iPhone. There was no Galaxy then. All you had was a fucking boombox. You turn on the radio at nighttime. You heard reggae. You heard hip-hop music. From Red Alert and Chuck Chill Out. They broke fucking barriers in the game. Okay? Most of y'all DJs came way later than them dudes. You gotta respect DJ Chuck Chill Out. You gotta respect Super Rock and Mr. Magic. You gotta respect DJ Marley Marl. The originators that started this shit. When I first heard of hip-hop music, it was W107.5 WBLS. And there was other stations like WNYU 89.1 FM. I miss Future. Marley Marl and Pete Rock used to have a show on Hot 97, Future Flavors. Y'all remember that? Do you remember Future Flavors? Do you remember the Stretch Armstrong and Bobbito show from 12 to 2 on Hot 97, midnight to 2? Do you remember? Well, I had the Wu-Tang, right? Speaking of the Wu-Tang, I had the vinyl Protect Your Neck before the album dropped. The first side was Protect Your Neck, B-side was Method Man. I got the vinyl, the Wu-Tang Clan. The 12-inch to Protect Your Neck. And Method Man on the B-side. And it was the radio version. I keep telling you, I told you, the best live performer was KRS-One. The Blastmaster. He's got his mural in the city somewhere on the Lower East Side. You got to respect KRS-One. You got to respect R&B and Rakim. You got to respect Kool Herc. You got to respect Africa Bambaataa. You got to respect Grandmaster Cash, Melly Mel. You got to respect the people that became before everybody did. You got to respect them. Give them their flowers. Show them their love and support. You know? You got to respect the Sugar Hill Gang. You got to do all that. If you're not hip-hop, why fuck y'all waste your time listening to that drill shit on Hot 97? Why? When I want to rap, I want to be dope enough. I want to be so dope that I like to spit some hardcore shit. Before I heard about Diddy, he was Puff Daddy. Doesn't matter if it's Death Row or Bad Boy. Nah. Well, Suge Knight used to be down with Death Row. Because when I was watching the documentaries of Snoop Dogg said he was working with the devil, and that was Suge Knight. Before Snoop Dogg owned Death Row, it was Suge Knight that did that when Tupac was alive. I understand Tupac hated Nas, he hated Jay-Z, and he hated Mobb Deep and Biggie. Those are the rappers that he hated. How many Tupac fans we got on here? How many Tupac fans we have on here? When was the last time you heard Tupac Shakur on Hot 97? When was the last time you heard that? When was the last time you heard a Tupac record on Hot 97? Instead of listening to that Biggie shit. When was the last time you heard Tupac on Hot 97 or Power 105.1? What? No, he's underrated. That Tupac, I knew him. Listen, speaking about Tupac, I went to see Juice in the movie theater in Central Avenue. Tupac played as Bischoff in the movie Juice. That was his featured film, was Tupac. And then he did that movie with Nothing But Trouble, and it featured Digital Underground, and with Shock G and Humpty Hump and Money B. You gotta respect Digital Underground. You gotta respect Humpty. Speaking of Humpty, I remember I met Humpty in New Hampshire. When was the last time you heard the Humpty dance? My favorite record from them was Do What You Like. Come on, you gotta wake up all hip-hop shit. If hip-hop is gonna be 50, you gotta wake up every rapper. I don't give a fuck. You gotta wake up every rapper. Because I know a lot of rappers that y'all most slept on. What about the Flavor Unit? Nicky D, Lakim Shabazz, Tim Dog, MC Trouble, and Niggas with Attitude, NWA. What about the Doc? What about what's this other rapper's name? What about the Lynch Mob, the former group before Ice Cube was with West Side Connection? He had a hip hop group called the Lynch Mob. The first album, Gorillas in the Mist. I've been an Ice Cube fan when he first came out. And there was some unreleased tracks of Ice Cube when he was with the CIA. And he did that record, My Posse. How many of you remember that? How many of you remember Ice Cube when he did his first debut film with his Jerry Curl Juice doing Boys in the Hood? When he played as a doughboy. When the lady said to him, I'll suck your dick. And he said, get the fuck out my face. Changing babies' diapers. They smell worse than you. No, ain't like, he said, change them diapers. They smell bad as you. That was one of my favorite scenes. I remember seeing Boys in the Hood in the movie theater. I seen when Morris Chestnut Ricky got shot with a rifle, running. Cuba Corner Jr. was crying, Ricky! Yeah. That movie is only a script. He didn't really die, but that movie is a script. It's only a script. Movies are all scripts. It's not real. It's fake. You know what I'm saying? That blood that he had all over his body was full of tomato sauce. That wasn't real blood. That shit wasn't real blood, bro. The best rapper. I got a top 6 rappers in the 80s. If you hear hip-hop in the 80s, and if you respect that culture, you'll get somewhere in life. Trust me, it's going to work for you. Then many others will. Nowadays, a lot of rappers are getting soft as fucking cleanest tissues. Just to blow my nose on that motherfucker. I'm like, the fuck am I thinking about? All this bullshit that I'm looking for, what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing. Okay? Every time somebody has a shootout in the street, Another person gets killed. Another person winds up in a fucking hospital, coma. Blood caked all over your body. What do? You listen to the Stop the Violence movement. The self-destruction record. How about thinking about that? Who remembers the Stop the Violence movement? Who remembers Miss Melody? Who remembers Fruit Quan from Setsasonic? Who knew about Dr. Dre and the Lover when they had the first episode of Yo and TV Raps? Why did I give a fuck about these rappers getting killed over nothing? Being killed over money. Being killed over the fame that they have, and people are jealous, and that's why they get robbed out their houses from all the shit they deserved. And then they want to rob your house and get away with it like self-defense. That's crazy. That's nuts. You could be on the news at night hearing that you want to rob a rapper's house and get away with it, stealing all their money, their clothes, and their jewelry. You must be out of your fucking mind doing that. Having a lot to prove with rap these days. When you want to rap, it takes a lot of time. I've been doing this shit for 3 decades and a half. Don't sleep. I'm old enough to spit bars because 1989 was the blueprint of listen to rap. You know? The Ghetto Music by Boogie Down Productions. My favorite record was Bo 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 Ka 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 Ka. You know, that record was all slept on, but it's a hit. That Boogie Down Productions record in '89, Ghetto Music, the blueprint of hip hop. What about I know y'all know about Criminal Minded, but what about KRS's-One album, Sex and Violence? You ever listen to that shit? My favorite record on there was 13 and Good and Duck Down. And Drug Dealer. Drug Dealer was a good record from KRS-One. What about that record that was most slept on? Jack of Spades. What about The Blueprint? What about Ja Rules or something like that? And Jay-Z did a blueprint of 9/11. Oh. When Biz Markie died, I was going through suppression on the fucking train. I cried my ass all the way home. When Biz Markie died, I remember that. And I was shocked when MCA died too. I was shocked when Jam Master Jay got gunned down. I thought Run DMC died because they had an altercation in the studio when the gunmen opened fire and Jam Master Jay was killed. You better stop listening to hip hop that sounds like the Big Apple Circus. Y'all motherfuckers better recognize. Y'all gotta represent. You gotta do y'all thing. You gotta know it's halftime, like Nas would say. Illmatic. You know, AZ did a record with Nas. Life's a bitch and then you die. It's how we get high because you never know where you're gonna go. Money, Power, Respect was a good video. Rest in peace, shout out to DMX. He was a good performer, DMX. He was a great performer. I seen him in a lot of hip-hop shows. He was a beautiful performer. He wasn't a great performer. He was a phenomenal performer, DMX. Seeing DMX in concert felt like I was in a hip-hop church, preaching. You know, saying some crazy shit off his head. I've seen DMX perform in a lot of places. You gotta respect DMX. You know what I'm saying? DMX was in a few movies. Belly, Exit Wounds. He was in Romeo Must Die. Rest in peace to Aaliyah. Who misses Aaliyah? Because she was one in a million, and age was nothing but a number. Age was nothing but a number. I said it to a lot of people. That's the spirit of Aaliyah. When she got killed, after she got killed in the plane crash. People shouldn't have laughed at that and mimicked that shit. That's not funny. If some of your family members died in a plane crash, how the fuck you would feel? You would feel hurt. You would feel devastated. If somebody, one of your friends, climbed up a ladder to get on top of the mountain, they jumped and committed suicide, would you laugh at that? No. That's being suicidal, and it gets to your head when you go through the fucking depression, and it shocks your senses. It makes you cry. It makes you sob. You be shedding tears thinking about that shit. A lot of rappers don't get respect. A lot of unknown rappers don't get their props. They don't get their flowers. Y'all know a few old school rappers. You know Public Enemy. You know Kane. You know G-Rap, Biz Markie. They deserve their flowers. But the unknown rappers that were in the 80s and 90s, you should respect them like the Busy Boys. You should respect Nice and Smooth. You should respect Nicky D. You should respect Third Base. Respect all these cats where it came from. Respect MF Doom, KMD. Before he was MF Doom, he was KMD. And his first album was called Mr. Hood. And he did a video called Peach Fuzz. And it featured Third Base. Third Base was in that video. The young Pete Nice and the young MC Search. The one that gave you the record Gas Face, Step to the AM, and Pop Goes the Weasel. The one they did a Vanilla Ice and Pasta in the Pop Goes the Weasel video. Who y'all remember that? You gotta respect Sweet Tea. You gotta respect all these female rappers. The Real Roxanne. You gotta respect Sparky D. You gotta respect MC Sha Rock from the Funky Paw, Force One More. And you gotta respect Grandmaster Cass. Hip hop didn't invent anything, but it reinvented everything. You know? Go watch Rhyme and Reason. Watch The Art of Rap. Watch The Art of 16. Watch the show. They have a lot of rap documentaries out there. Watch them. Go to YouTube. Go to any site. Watch the rap documentaries. And you know what the fuck I'm talking about. The best hip-hop documentary I ever watched was Rhyme and Reason. Back in 97. The soundtrack was good. And you got to respect the rappers from the Bronx. Lord Tariq and Peter Guns. Respect Cuban Link. I don't give a fuck if he has beef with Fat Joe. You know what I'm saying? You got to respect these cats. You got to respect DJ Scott LaRock. You got to respect DJ Kenny Parker. Can't get no darker. You got to respect the Crash Crew, Breaking Bells. You got to respect all these when the jams are rocking on your radio like Houdini when the freaks came out at night. You got to respect Spoonie G when he was the Godfather. King's Son, Redhead Kingpin, Rex in Effect, Guy, Force MDs, all these cats. Bobby Brown, respect him. Because back in the day, he was the R&B king. Before there was a R. Kelly. You know, Marky Mark, I'm not, yeah. He only did one record, Good Vibration. That was it. And it was off the Super Mario Brothers soundtrack back in the 90s. You know what I'm talking about. You know how life could be. Traveling through time. Listen, my hip-hop is timeless. J Funkadelic is timeless. Do y'all know that? I'm timeless for what I spit for. I'm very timeless. Making my Rise of Funkville album back in 04. Well, I first started recording in 03. But my unreleased shit was 2002. I started going to the studio. I started to make rhymes in the studio in 2002. And then it came up to 2003 when I was working on my first album, Rise of Funkville. 12 banging tracks. No gimmicks. No gimmicks, period. I'm dropping another album, hopefully. If hip-hop don't sound right this year, if they don't bring back the New York hip-hop and the boom bap, I'm bringing it back. I don't give a fuck. I will stand up and fight for my right to party, like the Beastie Boys. You know what do? The first white rapper that ever existed was Rodney Dangerfield with no respect. It could be MC Search. It could be Mantronics. It could be the Fat Boys. Rest in peace to Buffy and Prince Marky D. My best rapper that ever lived, God bless his soul, was Dwight Myers, Heavy D, and the Boys. Heavy D was one of my favorite rappers of all time. Back in the late 80s, when he did Living Large and Big Time. When he was Mr. Big Stuff. I remember buying 2 Public Enemy records separately. Was A Taste of Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, and Yo Bum Rush the Show. Those were the dopest albums I ever heard. When I first heard of Public Enemy, a guy told me who sung. I asked the brother, yo, who sings Don't Believe the Hype? Guy said Public Enemy, and I bought that album. I went to the Wiz and I bought that motherfucker. And I bumped it 1,000,000 goddamn times. I couldn't stop listening to Public Enemy because it influenced my rap flow from Chuck D. Chuck D is a hip-hop god. Just like KRS-One is. Just like Flavor Flav is. Just like Professor Griff. And Terminator X. All these dudes. You gotta respect how rap would be. You know, from back then. All these motherfuckers listen to Ice Spice, Glorilla, Lola Brooke. If you're like, even when your babies turn 10 years old, what they know about rap, what they know about listening to this bullshit they have now. When you watch BET, you're watching high definition fucking sitcoms about drama and the reality they're going through. No. They sold the culture out. And that's what they fucking did. I like mainstream artists. I like underground artists better than mainstream. I like that boom bap artist. I'm feeling rappers like Ill Bill, Gorilla Nems. I'm feeling rappers like Statics, like DJs like Static Selector. I'm feeling Terminology. I got mad love for Smith & Wesson. I'm feeling Black Moon. I'm feeling Rock Monster from Helter Skelter. I'm still feeling Method Man. And I'm still feeling Styles P. I love the Locks because they're from Yonkers, close to my hood. You gotta respect everybody. Because God loves hip-hop, like we all do. God could be black, God could be white. It doesn't matter what race he is. God is all race. Knowing about the people and the consciousness. A lot of rappers back in the day rapped about Martin Luther King. Now these fucking rappers sound like Roger Troutman when they spit a bar, you know? I know Dice Peso's my man, but I think he's biting off Roger Troutman because Roger Troutman had that auto-tune. Dice Peso is an auto-tune rapper, but I know he's got that auto-tune like Roger Troutman had. And I know he was down with the Dipset. I know he's been hanging out with Jim Jones for a long time. For a while now. Making studio hits. Being with the Broadbread family. I was down with Dice Peso. I was in one of his videos. You seen it. When I was on Intervale Avenue one time with Dice Peso after my grandmother passed away. I was with Dice Peso. I was rolling with Dice Peso. He asked me if I wanted to be in the video. I said, yeah, you know. And he showed me respect and the love that I wanted. Rest in peace to Bossbed Envy. Because she was a pretty little girl that got killed by her ex-boyfriend. I only saw her once in my life. Bossbed Envy. Shout out to my homegirl, Donnie Marie. Beautiful, stunning lady. That's my little sister. I'm down. Listen, I don't have no favorite rapper. Stop asking me who's my favorite MC. Stop asking me that. Cut that shit out. Hip-hop is one. Hip-hop is one. I'm Jay Funkadelic. Funkable Operator Podcast, Episode 8. Hope I'll see you in the near future. Peace.